host, Jennifer Evans, and I have with me tonight my lovely panel. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing
I'm
good,
good.
good.
How are you?
Good.
Right.
Fine. Great. Let me introduce you to the people out there. So we have Jenny, Kathy, Eddie, and Fritz.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Okay, so we have a great topic this morning or this evening. It's called Married Men. Let me ask you this question to the ladies. Ladies, have you ever been attracted to a married man before? Jenny or Kathy, have you ever been attracted to a married man?
Probably some crush, but never really into it because never really pursued anyone.
Not pursued, but I mean, I guess, just attracted. What about
Correct.
the men? Do you think, let me ask the men, Eddie and Fritz. So both of you guys married. So let me ask you, once you were married, uh, do you feel like more females found you attractive?
Go on, Eddie.
I don't think so.
Really?
If they did, they did not tell me. They didn't make it known to me.
Okay. Fritz, what about you?
I would say yes. I think especially when a man is or has kids, like if he's great with kids and he's like great with handling his family, I think it's generally attractive to single women. Maybe.
I actually agree with you. I asked my husband this question earlier on today, and he was like automatic, like, yes, actually, that, yeah, most women find married men attractive. His answer was a little bit different. Mine, I agree with you, Fritz, that they see single women will see a man that has the qualities and characteristics that they want. Like a married man is going to take care of his family, provide
Right.
for his family, keep a job, stuff like that, be responsible. And then so they see that as attractive and know that he's willing to settle down. So then they're like, well, maybe I can, step into the number one spot. so, so anyway, ladies, when you say that you've never been, or Jenny, when you said you were attracted to married men like a crush, like why was he attractive to you? Do you think?
Because some like for me, some celebrities, I guess, that are married and like as Fritz mentioned earlier, they are great with their partners and they are great with their kids. So I would kind of want my back then my future husband to kind of emulate them, I guess.
Okay,
So that makes him attractive for me.
okay. So Kathy, you answered the opposite. So why not? Why would you not be like attracted to a married man? I know, just let us know. What is your reasoning behind that?
I don't want to
Other
be
than
the
that.
second. I want to be the first.
Okay, I mean that's hey, all right. Okay, so our topic today is married men and why women are attracted to married men. The question is, why am I attracted to married men? A woman asked. Your subconscious mind is highlighting married men, and it's married men that you find attractive. It may not seem obvious at first, but this is an important distinction to make. You've abdicated your personal power by assuming that something inside of you is drawing married men to you. You don't mind a married man magnet, or you don't have a married man magnet inside of you. Instead, you're attracted to unavailable men. The connection you feel for a married man in some ways aligns with your original experience of love in your childhood home. On some level, the longing for these unavailable men is a familiar dynamic. And because it's familiar, your subconscious mind highlights these men for you. The brain science of attraction highlights married men because the feeling of longing for something you can't have is familiar to you from childhood. So, why am I highlighting unavailable men? And what about this dynamic is familiar from your upbringing? Whose love did you have to share or earn or prove your worthiness to? Attraction is determined in your early childhood. So, your internal GPS for love originates in your family of origin. Your experiences in your childhood before age 8 create your unique imprint for love. When you were a child, you took on beliefs, behaviors, and strategies to feel loved in your family of origin. For example, if your father was distant or emotionally unavailable, you may have taken on a strategy to prove to him that you are lovable. So just to not be rejected. This example creates the familiar pattern of having to earn love or going in to sacrifice for love. If your mother was a harsh disciplinarian, you may have taken on the belief that you could never be good enough, creating the false belief that you are unlovable. It all adds up to your subconscious mind highlighting married men for you because not getting the love you want feels familiar. That's deep. So the hurt, sadness, and longing for what you can't have is similar to the feelings you experienced in early childhood. So, why are some women attracted to married men? Because the situation feels familiar to them and is therefore highlighted in their subconscious. So, here are some reasons why women are attracted to married men. Um, and married men, beware. So, one, you don't feel worthy of the love you want. If you feel worthy of love, you won't accept anything less than what you desire or deserve. However, if you have a pattern of dating married men, it might be because you don't feel worthy of the love you want. Let me ask everybody, let me ask the panelists. Have you guys, so I'm just gonna say, since Jenny and Kathy, you've never went beyond just being like a crush, like you said, Jenny, on a superstar. But do you, any of you know of someone who's dated someone that was married?
Yeah, some
Okay.
acquaintances I know of. Because
Okay.
probably, yeah. For me, with the statement you made earlier, I cannot really connect to that because feel or I felt that I was completely loved by my parents, so I cannot really connect with that statement. But for like this acquaintance I had, I think it was the thrill of the chase because some
Mhm.
women enjoy the excitement and challenge of like pursuing someone who's already committed to someone else because that kind of uh, gives them some sense of power, I guess, and validation because it may make them feel more desirable or attractive. Yeah, that's
Right.
what I think.
Okay. And then so the person that you knew that was dating this married man, just you felt like they were like, okay, I can I
And
can
they were
take.
kind of have a liberal upbringing,
Mhm.
so that that woman kind of prefer relationships uh,
No strings
uh
attached.
with those that have with those men that are married or either in a relationship with another woman because um that kind of they kind of avoid the commitment
Right. Yeah.
because with them they can avoid the pressures and responsibilities of being in a committed relationship, so I guess that's one of the reasons why they went into that
Got it.
relationship.
Is there anybody else on the panel that has had or known of someone who dated someone who was married? A female that dated a married man in particular? So I'm gonna say I have. I
Can I add
definitely.
something?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so for that person I know,
Mhm.
she kind of lost her dad at a young age, so she dated a lot of men that are already committed. So I guess that's one of the reasons because she was looking for a father figure. She mentioned that she mentioned that to me actually. So I guess that's one of the reasons. Like that kind of connected to the statement you made earlier.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna give somebody one more chance. Was there anybody else? I know Eddie and Fritz, you guys look like you were in deep thought trying to, are you willing to put it on the line or did
Thinking
you
about my friends, thinking about friends and acquaintances, I believe I have known no one yet
hmm
as far as having that kind of relationship or like a pursuit. As far as I'm concerned, I have no friends or acquaintances like that to my knowledge.
all right. Kathy and Eddie, anybody you know or known of?
Well, not on a personal level, but I know very many ladies that date married men purely for the money.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. For their comeuppance.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I've known. I think I can speak to the like daddy issues. That's really what it is, isn't it? Daddy and mommy issues, where I could see that where a person, really, it's like rejection. So I think it's safe to be. I think a person can view as being in a relationship with someone who's already committed, as not, even though that's this dichotomous, but they wouldn't be rejected because they're not that person that they're with, their commitment is to their wife, so they're they're extra, so it's not like really they don't, they're not really being rejected. Actually, it's more so they would probably view the wife as the one being rejected, or like he's undermining, or they're getting the best of the wife because he's actually sneaking out and being with them. Okay. Anyway, number two, you're not willing to risk your heart, which is another possibility for a woman falling for a married man, is because they're not really willing to risk their heart. Married men are safer emotionally because they're probably not going to leave their wives for you. It makes sense that if you're not willing to go all in and risk that you choose someone who isn't available for a relationship, you'd get all the excitement and romance without any of the fear of being vulnerable, which is kind of what I said. Like you get, like, well, I'm gonna read these other two. Number three, you struggle with boundaries. When you struggle with boundaries, you tolerate situations that aren't healthy or good for you. Continuing to date a man once you discover he's married is a perfect example of weak boundaries. What do y'all feel about that? That one is like, that one cuts pretty deep. Um, Kathy, do you think that rings true? They struggle with boundaries? A person that would be willing to date a married man is a perfect example of weak boundaries.
Yeah, I think they do.
Tell me more. Yeah, I think they do. Tell me more. Do you know why would you say that? I'm picking on you. No?
Adam become it's there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I think that I think that if you're willing to, if you don't stand for something, then you'll fall for anything. That's the saying, right? Once again, I think struggling with boundaries, meaning that they're just willing to take anything. They don't believe that they're worthy enough. It all kind of feeds into itself. They don't believe that they're worthy enough to deserve something of their own. Okay, number four is that the person is too accommodating. Thank you. Married men like women who don't ask too many questions. You may accommodate his need for privacy if you fear conflict. Just going along to get along can get you in trouble if you're not curious and asking questions. You could be laying the groundwork to end up as the other woman inadvertently. They're already the other woman. I think that, yeah, the side chick, that's what I'm going to call her, is very accommodating. I remember that there was this Instagram post that this lady was bragging kind of how she, this married man that she was with, that he loved her so much, and and how could he couldn't leave his relationship, but you know she just felt so loved, and she was wondering, like, was that was her feeling real? And so this other gentleman was like, she was like, well, will this last? And the gentleman on the panel was like, of course it's gonna last. He was like, I mean, of course he's going to love you. You're actually catering to him. It's like he doesn't have to call you. He doesn't have to, 24/7. He doesn't have to have any like responsibility for you. You make yourself available when when his wife allows him to be available. So when the wife is out grocery shopping and he can slip away, then he'll make time for you. But other than that, his responsibilities are at home. If he has some extra funds, yeah, he'll slide them your way or take you out. But it's nothing concrete, nothing real. What do you guys feel about that, Eddie and Fritz? Like what that guy said, how the woman, she thought that she was like top notch, but he's like, nah, you just you just like, of course we'll keep you around because you're just accommodating to me. How do y'all feel about that? Was that correct?
Yeah, I guess that's I don't know if it's insecurity. I don't know what to call it, but it's more, it's rooting from what Jenny is saying earlier. It's the longing for validation. They don't know their boundaries already, and they don't want any accountability in the relationship. That's why they want, a free range, like a free range, like a chicken,
Right.
a free range chicken, that she can do whatever she wants, or um be with someone who's already committed to someone else. So um I think by pursuing validation, by pursuing something that, you know um is somehow like weird, or
Mm-hmm.
I would say something that not many girls would do, or not many women would pursue. It's like for them, look at me, I'm so attracted. I i attracted some married men, or like
Mm-hmm.
someone who's already committed. So yeah, I think that's also one of the factors that it's where it's rooting from.
Yeah. How about you,
Yeah.
Eddie? Mr. Eddie?
I, 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 I can't help but wonder, is it so, if 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 we are all saying it is because of something that happened in their childhood, are we saying that it is okay? Or, what are you trying to say here? Is it okay for these ladies to chase married men, or just
I don't
wondering?
think it's no, I don't think it's okay. I think that in the write up they're saying that it's so there's an etiology for this. Though so they're giving a reason why this is happening. So they're saying that it could be from rejection from their father not being present, or their mom being hard on them, and so they may want to prove themselves, or to not get into an exclusive relationship because of fear of rejection. So how some people uh like when they experience like rejection, it can show it excuse me, it can show up in ways of like a person is already defensive because they don't want to be hurt. So before you even say anything to them, they're like, what do you want? What? Like, because they already have their guard up. They're already ready to fight because they've been in so many battles already, and they've got the wounds, and they're not willing to expose themselves or make themselves vulnerable so that they can be hurt again. And so it may show up in ways of, I don't want to get married. You got that over there. Let me get a little bit of your time because I don't want you to reach. I don't want to put everything, my 100% into you, and you have a side chick, or you say I don't want to marry you, or or something like that, or like that. So that's what we're saying. We're not giving it, it's not right. It's not right, but they're just saying it can, those this this way of living can stem from rejection. Pretty much that's what I say. It's from rejection, whether it be your parents or school bullying or whatever, because it could not be your parents, and you could just be an ugly duckling in high school or whatever, and then once you flourish or whatever, and you may be beautiful on the outside, but still, how some women are so gorgeous, or some people are so gorgeous, but they have such low self-esteem, um, just because of issues they went through as a child. And then it's coming up, and even though to you they look a certain way, and to you they're like, why would they even act that way? But it's because of things that they went through in life. So that's where I think that they're saying this woman who is attracted, women who are attracted to married men, they're giving them kind of an excuse. I now I'm going to say, now that you brought that up, I don't think that, it's almost like, there's a show over here called My 600-Pound Life, and my husband says, um, and these are all people that are very large, and he says that they always come up with an excuse of, I went through this as a child, I went through that as a child, or whatever. But you sometimes, you can't, you have to get over things, and I'm just saying, regardless of what it is, sometimes you have to let go and let God, or just move on from that. Don't let, because those people that hurt you, they're living their life, and here you are, killing yourself, eating yourself to death, or preventing yourself from having a wonderful relationship with a husband, or and having a family, because you don't want to be rejected because of what somebody else did, because of what your dad or your mom did or someone else did, and they moved on with their life. So that's where it's coming from. Meanwhile, though, I mean, do you think that with that they're too accommodating, it is exactly from that, and maybe they should just raise their standards, Mr. Eddie, since you brought it up, since you were saying, I'm for it. I'm for the streets. I'm for the ladies for the streets.
Well, again, I feel like, like you said, just because it is just because someone went through something. Uh, I don't know how to put this without sounding, I mean, heartless. Just because someone went through something, that doesn't give him or her a right to, to pursue uh, someone who's married, or, that is what I feel. Yeah.
I agree.
I
I
think
agree.
it's more like a victim mindset, maybe, where you use your previous experience, or like something that has been done wrong, or a wrongdoing against you, that you justify what you do afterwards. Like, sh- my dad did this to me, so, like what you were saying, Jennifer, earlier. um this kind of thinking, I do have friends like these,
Mhm.
I don't have friends like, pursuing someone who's committed to someone, but I have friends who would say, you know um would tell about their traumas, and I sympathize with them with regards to their experiences. But when it comes to, like, using it as a reason to do something wrong, or to sustain something that is not right, for example, like pursuing married men, then definitely I would say, it springs forth from um that, thinking in themselves that, uh having they're loving themselves as victims, like
Mhm.
they're living their life as victims, because they're still justifying the things that they are doing because of what ha- what things that has been done wrong to them, and not moving on, like what you said. And, instead of forgiving, they are, doing rebellious things that behind people's backs, and all that. So I know people like these. So, yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, and I think it can manifest itself in many different ways. Sadly, yeah, our topic is where it manifests itself in this way. Okay, so I'm going to move on to number five. It is you're giving a stranger the benefit of the doubt. If you're expecting, if this person is expecting to magically know that they found the one after a few dates, they're giving the stranger the benefit of the doubt. So they shouldn't let their hope and excitement cause themselves to put rose colored glasses on and take a stranger at their word. So this is kind of swinging in the opposite direction when I said they're kind of use it as a defensive mechanism, where they don't want to commit, but this is where, hey, I'll take what I can get, almost, like, oh, okay, well, I mean, he likes me. I mean, and he treats me good. Yeah, he's married, but hey, I mean, he wants me. He wants me around. So that's that one. You rush to exclusivity, and this means it can be exciting to jump in the sack when you first meet a guy. But if you're serious about lasting love with an available man, slow things down. Ideally, dating is a process of slowly getting to know one another. Okay, so hmm, let's pause on that one. And I'm going back to the guys again, and then I'm gonna come up to you, ladies. And let's just make this hypothetical. Okay, so hypothetically, um, how soon is too soon to engage in a physical connection with someone that you're dating, or yeah, how soon? So if your friend was like, I met this girl, oh my gosh, she's wonderful, love her so much, and I've known her 3 months, and so hey, I think we're gonna make a commitment. Is that too soon, or is that too fast? Eddie, coming to you, my brother.
I, I I don't think there's a time frame. As long as you feel like you've known someone well enough to commit, well, go for it. But again, it cannot be a week. I don't think a week is enough or a month is enough to know someone that well to commit yourself to that person. At the
Okay.
same time, I do not want to put a time frame of like you need like a whole year to know someone, or 2 years or 3 years. But at least get to know that person more. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Fritz.
Yeah, I would say the
Brother.
same. There are relationships, different dynamics on how you get to know someone, and um, there's always this not really just feeling, but circumstances that you know God uses to allow you to determine, or at least um, give you uh, reasonable reasons, or like reasonable things that you could consider on committing,
Hmm.
and there's a factor where you uh you would want to risk as well. Because being in a commitment, I would say it's not just you know that she's worthy. There's no absolutes in the commitment. Like, you don't know, of course, you both of you don't know the future, but with all things considered, with what you've gone through and how you've known each other, and then the factor of you're both willing to take risks, then definitely you know you would be able to commit to that someone, as long as you found yourself, and she found herself willing to commit, even though after a short span of time, relatively short span of time.
Okay. All right, Kathy and Jenny, y'all are up to bat. What do you think is 3 months too soon? Would 3 months be too soon to commit to a relationship? Mind you, now, so we're kind of off the rail, because it doesn't matter if it was 2 years. If the person is married, is wrong. But just because of this, it says you rush to exclusivity. So how soon is too soon, ladies? Either one, Jenny or Kathy, both, but at whichever one wants to jump in first.
You're saying rush to exclusivity. Like, is that being exclusive?
For
Like
me,
you're going to a relationship with another person that already in a relationship. So I don't think
Nope,
that's
nope, we're going
exclusive.
off the rails. So don't worry about don't they're not in another relationship, but how soon just because
Oh,
this thing. So how soon is too soon for you?
I yeah, I'm going with what Eddie said earlier. I don't think there is a time frame for that if they're going to physically be intimate. Um, as long as you have that emotional connection, I guess, then I don't think the time frame is any time frame would be necessary or that would be an issue for me.
Okay.
As long as you know the person really well and you're able to know the person in that short period of time that you've known each other, even though it's just a month or 2 months. So I guess you
We're
can,
talking about a
proceed.
physical commitment, right? We're talking about a physical commitment. So 2 months, a month, 3 months, or you guys, Jenny, Eddie, and Fritz, y'all are saying it just go with the flow,
It doesn't,
whichever.
yeah, doesn't
All
really
right.
matter for me. Mhm.
Right. I
Okay.
think there's no black and white on that, and like what we're saying is, um, there's a lot of factors that you would know that okay, let's do this. Because if it's just you, then definitely there's something there's something
Right.
missing, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. Miss Kathy, are you all in a week, or or you got to take some more time?
okay. I also think there's no time frame for that. You just have flow.
Okay. Okay. I would actually I see what y'all are saying, but I'm gonna say from a biblical standpoint, when you talk about physically a physical commitment, meaning have sex, right? When y'all are making a physical commitment, that would be having sex, correct? Are we shaking our heads yes?
I wasn't thinking about that.
What
Sorry.
kind of what type of physical do you guys do other than other than biblically know someone? Because I was gonna play the devil's advocate and say, okay, well then honestly, as like depending on what, you'd have to go ahead and get married.
Mm, definitely you have to get married first if you're gonna be physical, because in I was thinking about if your
Or
physical
you
commit.
don't. I mean, you don't have to get married. Now, that's up to that's everybody's their own individual. I'm just saying
Right.
that for me, I would have to get married. So whoever, whatever you want to do, y'all, I'm not over here with y'all.
Right.
But
So
okay, go
I
ahead, go
agree. I
ahead.
agree. I agree with what you're saying when it comes to physical commitment. That's yeah. I was thinking about something else when we were talking about physical commitment, because uh,
So okay, okay.
yeah,
So y'all are riding bikes, and you got to get to know her, and after 3 months, you guys can go riding bikes.
yeah.
What physical commitment were you talking?
No, I was thinking about being physically. Yeah, like
I'm gonna have to be like, yeah. Next time, I'm.
no. When we talk about physical commitment, there should also
Uh-huh.
also be emotional commitment, right? Like holistically holistic commitment, because if we're just talking about physical commitment as sex, then we there should also be consideration about the other aspects as well, because you can be physically commit. This is what I was thinking. You can
Okay.
be physically committed to someone without having sex. That's what I was thinking. Like
I'm looking
you
at Eddie's face. I'm sorry, Fritz. I'm sorry. I was looking at Eddie's face. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm
that's what I
sorry.
was
I'm so
thinking.
sorry.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if we directly said that being
Uh-huh.
being sexually committed,
I'll
then,
next
then
time I'll make sure.
yeah,
Can
then
y'all hear me?
definitely I would be I was able to catch it. So yeah.
Okay, my fault. My fault.
No,
I'll
that's
next
okay.
time.
That's That's on me as well.
I'll be crystal. So over, yeah, yeah. That's never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but bad joke. Anyway, okay. So let's just move on. Let's just move on. So number 7, you're buying into instant intimacy. We're just going on. Beware of instant intimacy. Sorry. An overwhelming feeling of connection is not the feeling you're looking for if you never want to date a married man again. That sensation is really your subconscious saying, this is familiar. This is familiar. What if you could change the meaning of this sensation? So, yeah. Yeah, we might as well just go ahead because we pretty much talked over about the instant intimacy. Pretty much, we just did all this because y'all don't go to marry people in a week and get physical riding bikes and exercising. I'm just joking with your friends. Anyway, okay. So let me go to our scenario. Here's our scenario. John, John, a friendly street interviewer, approached Tiffany and Mary, 2 single women with different views on relationships. So John posed the question: would you prefer a married man who never tells you no, or your own man who says no 60% of the time? Wow. So let me pose it again for Jenny and Kathy and Eddie and Fritz, just to let y'all hear. Ask 2 women, would they prefer a married man who never tells them no, or their own man who says no 60% of the time? So Tiffany's response was, I'd go for the married man who never says no. I mean, who wouldn't want the freedom to do anything without someone constantly saying no? Mary's response was, I'll take a married man too. They come with less drama, and sometimes they treat the side chick better than their wives. Less hassle, more fun. All right now, Tiffany and Mary. Anyway, questions. If you had to choose, Jenny and Kathy, and myself, I'll answer this too. Would you rather be with a married man who always says yes to your requests? Whoa, yes to everything. I want a trip to Dubai. Yes. Paris. Yes. Shopping spree. Yes. I want a house. Yes. New car. Yes. But he got to go home to the wifey while you sleep in that new house in that bed all alone. Or your own spouse who says no about 60% of the time. Can I go on a shopping spree? Nope. Can we go to Dubai? Not this year. Nope. Okay, so Kathy, I'm gonna go to you first. Who are you going for?
I'm not married. At least we can figure things out. There's no, we can try and talk. I don't want like I don't want a married man. I want who's not married.
Okay, all right, makes sense. So you'd rather, so if your man tells you no 60% of the time, as long as he's yours, you're okay with it. Versus a dude that now, yeah, versus a dude that will always say yes. Always say, and you don't got to hear him snore half the time. You ain't got to, he won't leave the toilet seat up because he got to go home, to do that. I mean, you always get the good side of Johnny. You get Johnny do good. I mean, you sure you're going to go with Mr. Kathy versus Johnny do good? Johnny good time. Okay, that's her story. She's sticking to it. Miss Jenny, how about you?
Married.
For me, like hypothetically speaking, and setting aside the values I have
Okay.
and the upbringing I've had, um, just for the fun of it, I guess, for the excitement, I would choose the married man because there's that element of secrecy and discretion involved in the relationship with a married man, and that would add like an extra layer of excitement and thrill. So if you're gonna, get involved with someone married, why not choose someone that would always like
Always say yes.
Would spoil
say
you.
yes to all your whims, spoil you and everything, and be adventurous and all. If you're just gonna go through that road, why not go all in?
I got it. I got you. So, but let me say, Jenny cleared herself by saying, setting aside her values. Just hypothetically, if she wasn't the Jenny that we know, then she's going for the married man. I hear you. Me and Jenny's married man gonna take us to pretty.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna lay
enjoy
down.
it.
I'm gonna lay down my stuff too. I'm getting me some new clothes and everything now. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
anyway, guys, I don't know. Let me ask you. I can turn it around because you guys could have a sugar mama. Like, would you rather have your own lovely wife? Uh, I don't know. Yeah, who's always asking you for stuff? Who you get along with 60% of the time? That's what I'm gonna say. Who doesn't, is not aggravating to you and all that stuff 60% of the time. So 40% of the time you guys are good. Or would you take your sugar mama who will give you everything you want?
Go, Eddie.
Uh, first of all, Tiffany and Mary were very, very correct. They were right. And now, I mean, let's not lie to ourselves. We will all go for the easy option, right? But
Well,
again, considering the values and you know, again, even with the values, we'll still, you'll still be in a very, tough fight. You'll be fighting yourself to not,
yeah.
But again, so still, Tiffany and Mary were real. Kathy, I do not, I do not believe you said you wouldn't go for, the married man, but it's okay. Again, I'd go for the one that gives me
Sugar
the easier
mama,
time. Yes,
the cougar.
yes.
He's gonna be a kept Eddie's gonna be a kept man. Okay, Fritz. Well kept. What about you, Fritz? What are you doing?
Yeah, like what Eddie said, it's always the easy option. Uh, but it's just me when I think about when I think about it, it's very. I think being with the sugar mom is definitely convenient, but I guess it would be more complicated than the relation dynamics is like yes, you're getting what you want, like
Mhm.
financially or materially, but there would still be gaps and holes that a sugar mama would not be able to fill in if you're some guy who's longing for like because men instinctively they would want to care for somebody, like provide for someone, or be the masculine man that they're meant to be. So if they're being taken care of like a baby, I think that masculinity would diminish over time and just be weak and soft and things like that. So
Yes, you would have very soft manicured hands.
yes, yes, and eyelashes and
It'd be a beautiful specimen. Yes. Yes. I mean, but I do have with you saying that I do believe that it does depend on what you want. So
Right.
getting everything you want financially or like materialistically would is great. I mean, but then to me, I would say if I wanted a real honestly, usually, right, the side chick always ends up messing it up because she's going to like call the wife or whatever. Because what they're missing is that actual connection, like the real relationship. They're always jealous of the wife because they don't have that position. They don't have, yeah. the well, I don't know about the love if he's stepping out, but still, like the commitment, um, it is saying something when a man actually commits to you, like wants to marry you. I didn't even think I didn't. I mean, I knew that being married, but I'm not gonna. I'm saying I've been married before, so I feel like to me, I didn't realize until I got older, and then I have friends that haven't ever been married that have expressed, oh my gosh, like, I'm ready to settle down and blah blah blah, and then how hard it is to find a good man. And I'm like, wow, that is something. And so none of my friends, but they may have, they like other people would settle for, I could see where someone would say, okay, well, this person, there you go, to where I don't have anything, I don't want to be rejected, but here's somebody that wants me, whether he's married or not, I'm going to take it. But really, even if he tells you no 100% of, I mean, excuse me, yes 100% of the time, gives you everything you want, you're still missing that actual intimate relationship. Yeah. So Aaron and Kathy
I
having
guess
their
I,
own conversation. Go ahead, Jenny.
I guess for the women who would decide to go get involved with a married man, I guess they should like set their mind that and set their boundaries as well, that uh, they would never really get the man or have this romanticized notion of a future together with the married man, and not think that that man would like leave his spouse for them,
Mhm.
because mm, this kind of a relationship is very risky,
Mhm.
and the woman who decides to get involved should know the emotional repercussions for all parties involved, and that would eventually result in pain and betrayal in the end.
Exactly.
So they should be very, very, very careful.
Exactly. Yeah, which goes into, I'm gonna read question number two, to both Tiffany and Mary. Concerning both Tiffany and Mary, do you think the idea of being with a married man adds any moral or ethical concerns to the relationship, considering he's committed to someone else? And Jenny, you kind of spoke on that, but what do you guys think? Kathy, since you're so talkative in the background, what do you think? Is that they're being involved with a married man? Are there any moral or ethical concerns in that relationship, you think, Kathy? Considering he's committed to someone else?
What was the question? No,
Yeah.
that no
So
morals.
being with a married man, right?
A side piece is a side.
Oh no. Okay. So there's, you mean she doesn't, the side piece doesn't have any morals or ethical concerns, right? That's what you mean by that? I feel you on that. Okay. Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
actually an easy one. She doesn't have any, they don't have any morals. Okay. In what ways do you think a married man might treat the side chick better? Mr. Fritz,
Yeah.
how do you think he
Um,
might treat the side chick better?
I also want to backtrack a little bit with your
Okay.
questions on with Kathy, because I was thinking about it when you ask it, but I was thinking
Yeah.
about the repercussions it will do, not just to the like the wife of the
Hmm.
married man, but definitely his kids, if he has kids.
Yep.
Because I think there's a fundamental connection between the love of the man to his wife and to his that will definitely manifest to his kids.
Hmm.
So if there's um you know inherent lack of love and commitment to the original wife, then definitely there will also be um effect on how he loves his kids, and definitely that will be an ethical and a moral effect on them, especially when they are growing up, and they will, you know, they don't know, but their dad is cheating, and of
Mhm.
course it will, you know, sometimes will display coldness and lack of, you know, time with them, and you know, because he's always out with his, you know, as Kathy called it, side piece. You know. So
Right,
right.
right.
So yeah, and to your second question, definitely there's gonna be a premium treatment with the side piece, because um you know, it's like, you know, men, for example, they have like many cars, right? they
Hmm.
they take care of a lot of cars, and you know, they have collections of cars, and then one day there's this, you know, super car, like an a luxurious car that comes in, then definitely there will be a different treatment among all cars, because he would take care more um of that, you know, supercar that came in. So it's like, it's like that, I would say.
I agree. I agree with what you said, and even going back to the moral or ethical concerns to the relationship. And you're right; it does actually. It's toxic, and it actually ripples out. It has a rippling effect out to where he thinks he can keep this, you know, secret and have this woman on the side, but it actually does ripple out to his family and can cause, actually it can create a generational curse to where, there you go, your son feels like, you know, hey, the example of my father, if they, you know, if he ends up finding about the finding out about the affair, where the son thinks, oh, my dad, I thought my dad was a good guy and he still went out and did this, so you know what, even good guys do, it's just a natural thing. Or however the father responds, and then the daughter could say, you know, men are bad, like men just cheat, I thought my dad was faithful, you know, but men cheat, so all men cheat, and it just is just the thing, and I'm not gonna stick with it. I mean, I might as well date a married man. It doesn't matter who it is, because men are gonna be men. I mean, it does have, or could potentially have, a rippling effect that could be toxic to even parties that had nothing to do with it. They just connected in a way, that is really sad. That's really sad. Um, Mr. Eddie, what do you think? Let's say, how might the married man treat the side chick better on that?
Now, allow me to differ a bit because
Oh,
mm,
okay.
where I come from, Kenya, uh, most cultures marry more than one wife, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So now, and how did this person marry the second wife without her first becoming a side chick, right? So at some point, this second wife was a side chick before she became a wife. So to answer your question, in what way can they be treated well? By marrying her, maybe, you know, as the second wife, like most cultures in Africa do. And again, I don't know why we are bashing the side chicks that much. And
And not the men.
again, in Africa, they become good wives, second wives, and they coexist perfectly well with the first wife. So maybe we shouldn't, you know, uh,
So
consider them
I,
evil or something. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I get that that's a part of your culture there. Um, but here it's not actually. Well, there are some people who actually, there is a religious sect that does practice sister wives. Actually, there was a whole TV show on it. Um, but let me say that I think that in this case, like what we're talking about, the wife, like, okay, so in your culture, that that's already something that's known, right? And expected, um, and tolerated, for lack of a better word. Okay. Accepted, tolerated, known. So if I don't know that my husband, like my husband's gone right now, if I don't know that he's out with another woman, he better not bring that woman in here and talk about, well, you know, she could be your sister wife. I mean, you know, if I catch him and say, oh my gosh, you cheated on me, you have another woman, he's like, well, you know what, maybe I'll just marry her. How about that? That's not gonna fix it. Okay. So I think that um that what you're saying in instance, it's totally different. And like I said, there's some religious sects here different that do that's some that do that. But it's already understood, it's already tolerated, and that's on them. It's actually not legal here in the United States, but do what you may. So they're not actually so because it's not actually legal. Oh, there's only one wife that he's married to, and then the other ones it's just the understanding. Okay. But I think that um with marrying the side chick, I mean, excuse me, with being the man treating the side chick better, it's just because it's easy. That's something easy. I mean, if I get to slide in when I want, uh, and not physically, or maybe physically, depending on the understanding. You know, it is what it is. So, someone said in the comments, married men will say no to the wifey because they care, but yes to the side piece because they don't care what they do with the freedom. I agree with that. Absolutely, I agree with that. And I don't know what you say, Eddie. I mean, if once a man he values his wife over here, they value their wife. The side piece they can do with or without, and I think that shows. Like my husband would not allow me to come out the house dressed a certain way. He wants to make sure that, yeah, that I represent him. So where a side piece, he could be like, "Oh yeah, look good, honey," because he doesn't care if any other man steps to her because he's not. That's not his prize. That's not his number one. That's not his woman. That's just somebody on the side. All right. So, last question so we can wrap it up here. What makes you lean towards choosing a married man? And how do you believe that they come with less drama compared to being with a single man? I can, I'm going to go on that one first. And then Jenny and Kathy. And then for the guys, just switch it around. Just switch it around. I think, like I said, uh, being with a married man because there's no commitment and he's not bringing there's no stress, it seems as though it's easier just because he's coming to you with the good, everything good, all smiles and happy because y'all don't have to pay bills. I mean, unless he wants to just to show off. And you guys are getting it when y'all meet out, y'all are meeting out at different places. I mean, and he's going home, the same house, the same kids, same dinner. She got her bonnet on or her hair wrapped up. She got a moo on, and every time he sees his side chick, she's dressed up because she knows. So honestly, let me say one good thing about having sister wives, I'm sure the man is not with the woman all the time. So if I had sister wives, maybe birds of a feather flock together. If I had three skinny sister wives, I would probably make sure I stay in shape if I like my husband. So he can still come around. I mean, or maybe not. Either way. Okay, so Jenny, what would make you lean towards choosing a married man, and how do you feel that they would come with less drama compared to a single man? Real quick. Uh-oh.
I guess for some women who engage in this kind of relationship, like um, it sort of serves like an escape from reality, I guess. So
Yeah.
engaging with a married man can serve as a form of escapism from the challenges, I guess, of their own lives. So this kind of allows them to temporarily focus on the excitement and fantasy of this like forbidden relationship. So there's also, I think, that belief that or probably what you call this, perceived financial stability when they go into a commitment with a married man, because some single women may be attracted to them because they think they are more financially stable and kind of be able to give them what they want. So they it's potentially offering them a sense of security or material comfort for some women. So yeah. And I
That's
guess for some other women, like this woman I know, like I was talking about earlier. Um, she engaged in that form of relationship because she was kind of rebelling. So I guess it serves as a rebellion against societal norms and expectations. And if she feels constrained or restricted by the traditional, dynamic of
I hear you.
relationship. Mhm.
All right. Well, that's all we've got for tonight. Thank you, panelists. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your comments. Kathy, stay out my comments section, my chat room. Kathy was live in the chats. So listen, married men, stay at home. Get physical with your wives at home. And don't get physical with other women that are not your wives. Just to let you know, physical is sexual. Anyway. Anyway, don't play with fire because you're definitely going to get burned. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. God bless and goodbye.